Yeah, so fuck it, we're doing it live. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a weird one, you know.
Well, I'm here.
Man,
Of course,
aren't
it's
all
gonna
of
be
our
weird.
podcasts weird? I mean, all the podcasts we do are technically weird, so.
No, Cheese and Darth's podcast, the scoreboard. That one's technically normal. All right, that
I'm
one's
talking
just.
about all. I'm not
Depends on
talking
your
about
definition of normal.
Oh yeah, okay. The swear jar is never gonna be normal. That's the point of the swear jar. All right, we're not here to be the normal group for KR. All right, we're the weird ones. All right, we're the ones that introduce people into KR at this point because Cheese and Logan were both on this podcast before they started their own. And now, yet again, we are introducing a new, well, not even new, a very, very old member of Rage. One of the other people that has been around since the beginning with, Doomy Dooms and I, the Tim.
Hello.
Yes, the Tim. Okay. He is, he's kind of here as our resident Wiccan expert. I wouldn't really call him an expert, but like...
I wouldn't even say expert.
Yeah, he's not really an expert by any means. It's more of that he's the only Wiccan I have on call. You know?
I mean, even then, that's
compared to all of us.
wicked.
Like, I'm not gonna lie here. I love Tim. I've known Tim most of my life at this point, but he's still kind of the only Wiccan I have on call anymore. It's just not really a group of people I have access to as much as anymore. Which I wish I did. Oh, come on. There we go. One more click. All right.
I'm down in this area.
Also, just so that people know, because we're all fucking weird. We are recording now, just so you guys know. The Tim is playing the new Battlefield in the background. Doomy Dooms is playing Dark Souls 3. And Mark is watching TV because he's a loser.
Damn, that's a bit brutal.
I'm not watching TV. I'm playing Valhalla.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought you said you were watching TV.
Well, I was before we started recording.
Yeah, yeah. And then Valhalla, Valhalla actually...
I like the bows in Valhalla.
They are nice.
Which one's Valhalla? Is that that's not the Egyptian one. That's the Greek one, right?
That's
No, Valhalla is that's the Viking one. In
Viking. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
England
well,
and
that will actually, pertains a bit to today's subject, actually.
What a segue.
It is. So, because I want to get this out of the way semi-early into the podcast. Welcome to the Swear Jar. Today's episode is going to be a mix, all right? Like, we are going to talk about Yule, as it is coming up 4 days after this podcast goes out.
What is today?
About 4 days, because it'll be on the 21st this year. I had to look that up to make sure that I was correct, because I also have something about people that are on the southern equator, because we are north of the equator where we are recording this. So Yule is coming up for us, at least. And it's gonna be a weird day. So if anybody does notice that I kind of sound different on this mic, because I know I totally sound different on this one than I do on mine. Been a long day. Been a really long, wild day. So go to work in the morning, and it's all fine and dandy and happy. And then my parents message me and be like, "Yo, we got COVID." Coolsies. So I had to go get my son out of school, and he got tested. I'll have his info tomorrow. And then I'm going in the morning to get tested, because, I ain't got no money till I cash my check. So I'm going to run through a bank drive-thru and hand them my check. Go get tested myself. But until then, I'm at my brother's, Gerbil's house, so I'm on his setup right now, which is interesting. It is. His chair's not as comfy as mine. All right, like I'm gonna say that up front. And I'm sorry because he has to sit in this chair all the time, but I just.
I mean, he's gonna be sitting in it later when he goes to edit.
Yeah, he is. It's just like I feel like mine's more comfy. Like, I'm not hating on it. Maybe you know what? Hold on. Let me get this arch support down here. Oh, okay. You know what? It's not so bad once you get the arch. If the arms weren't messed up, this would be a pretty comfy chair. I take that back. All right. Now that I got the arch support set up, I'm you know what? I'm not hating on this chair anymore. It's actually not that bad.
I think that's the one he got from Scott.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be multitasking like all hell.
Yay. So I did far less research on this than I did on the Bell Witch episode because I had to throw so much out to keep under time. So I'm going to try and go to the other end and just do a couple pages of notes to see if... Oh, shit. Alright, yeah, this is going to be even shorter because I think I'm missing a page. I bet. Yeah, I emailed the wrong file. I got fucked up with my computer the other day. It was a wild couple days of random research and letting Gavin play games. And I think I just shut the computer down without saving.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm not much. I mean, it was honestly mostly just a page of like side rant shit, like if we had a minute for me to just be like, oh, and another fucking thing, but it's okay. I do have one of my I put it at the beginning. I see where it literally says side rant. All right, so I have a moment for a side rant here, but it's going to be in just a moment. I don't think I can do my movie announcer voice. But we'll start with the pagan holiday known as Yule, if I'm even pronouncing that right. Takes place... What?
Yar.
Yeah, okay, cool. It takes place on the day of the winter solstice, typically around December 21st, which it is on December 21st this year, in the northern hemisphere. Below the equator, the winter solstice falls around June 21st, which, inverse of the year. It's a weird thing it's actually a scientific holiday way before science was well known, because it deals with the Earth's axis tilting closer and further away from the sun as it rotates, as the Earth rotates around the sun, which is actually very interesting because right before I put my son to bed tonight, I actually was sitting explaining to him the way the moon rotates around the Earth and the Earth rotates around the sun and how it tracks our years. So very weird that he was asking me about this tonight, not knowing that it was going to be on my podcast. There are many different cultures around the world that have winter festivals that are actually, festivals of light, festivals of the sun. Yule is just more or less the one that they're all lumped together under for anything... best way to put it is pre-monotheism becoming the dominant religious belief. Because as I'll get to later, Yule is actually like in the Norse people. I'm not even going to try and say this. It's definitely pronounced Yule, in my opinion. But it's spelled Jul. At least our translation spells it Jul. And that's where many of the Christian customs honestly come from. The Yule log, the decorating of the tree, and wassailing. All right, and I looked up how to spell that or how to say that word, so I'm 99% sure I'm saying it right. All right.
It's not Germanic, right?
Wassailing? Yeah, it kind of is.
And
It's
it's
just
wassailing.
well, no, because it when I looked it up, it said that you pronounce the W, and that it's basically like saying the word fossiling with a W instead of an F.
All right.
So
Usually with German, it's flip flop. W's are V, V's are W's. Why
I
don't you
know
pull the
that's.
fucking fair shit?
You know what? If it's Vossling, then I'm even more about it. Because Vossling, alright, is where I have my first fucking side rant for. Alright? Vossling is
I
when
heard you
people
talk.
would go door to door singing and drinking to the health of their neighbors, which eventually became Christmas caroling. Alright? Until the other day, literally until fucking like 5 days ago, Christmas caroling was the most annoying thing on the planet to me. After reading that and being like, oh, you fucking Christian bastards stole this shit. Now I just, if anybody were to come Christmas caroling to me, I have read a few old whatever carols from back in the day. I will yell one of them back to them. Okay. All right, I don't have that saved here because I didn't think I would go that far, like be like on the side rant. But yeah, I do actually have a quote here, and I don't know if I should. You know what? I'm supposed to quote some sources, so this one's a Huffington Post source. All right, dude. Hey, man. It's not that. It's a good source though. Like it's actually.
I know.
The source material is
Looking
not
at
the
high
best,
school.
but I'm just saying like the lines are very good. All right. It says until the 16th century, the winter months were a time of famine in northern Europe. Most cattle were slaughtered so they wouldn't have to be fed during the winter, making the solstice a time when fresh meat was plentiful. Most celebrations of the winter solstice in Europe involved merriment and feasting. In pre-Christian Scandinavian, the Feast of Yule lasted for 12 days, celebrating the rebirth of the sun and giving the rise to the custom of burning a Yule log. Which, that's very good information in a short bit of time. Alright, like, it took me maybe 30 seconds to read that, but it's a lot of good, like, true facts about some of the back in the day. Alright, like, and they're not the only ones. Thousands of years ago, the Egyptians had the celebration for the rebirth of Ra, the god of the sun. All right, like they did the same thing every year, and that had parties in Greece and Rome. They did what was it called? Saturnalia. All right, like oh, where was it? I have a line I wanted to read. Hold on. Because like, all right, Tim, you're gonna fucking love and hate this, but you already know it. All right, when the new religion called Christianity popped up, the new hierarchy had trouble converting the old pagans, and as such, folks didn't want to give up their holidays. So Christian churches decided to build on pagan worship sites, and pagan symbols were incorporated into Christianity to convert them over. Within a few centuries, the Christians had everyone worshipping a new holiday, celebrated on December 25th. Although scholars believe it is more likely that if Jesus even existed, he was born in April rather than in the winter, which is an argument I had with my father the other day, okay, because of this research. All right, because my father is still Christian and I'm not. And Tim, you know what that's like.
Actually, very like loving about it. Really open-minded about it. Both me and mom are pagan, so he's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm stuck with this.
Well, you're lucky then, because I'm the only one that's not in my house, yet I'm the only one that's read the Bible.
That's ironic. Like, wow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm the only one that's read it all the way through. So, that brings me to something I've wanted to bring up, and I'm so excited to bring up. All right, and I actually condensed the list down because there was no reason for me to go over all of it, because there's a lot
There's a guy
more.
sniping us from the side.
Do what?
He's
I'm
talking.
multitasking.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn it. All right, so here are just a few things that are, the Christian traditions that have very deep pagan roots. Okay, so we've already mentioned the first one, and I'm just going to go over it quick. Caroling, the wassailing. We might just name this podcast, how do you fucking pronounce this?
How do you pronounce this old bullshit?
Yeah. I can't.
You pronounce it very carefully.
Yeah. I mean, like, I should have left the fucking page that I had for, like, the recipe up, because in the recipe... there's a thing I was talking to Tim about. It's called wassail, or vassail, whatever the fuck, and I didn't send the recipe over to me, but I remember part of it. It is apple cider, cranberry juice, apples, oranges, cloves, nutmeg, and a couple other things, and you put it in a crock pot and let it simmer, and right before you go to drink it, you pour in some brandy. And I'm all about it. But with my parents having COVID, I can't make it until after Yule is long past.
Hey, Storm, pick me up, will you?
And of course you're dying.
Yes. I'm still listening. I'm just sniping.
I'm dying, Bob.
Oh, God. So, on top of that, there are multiple gift-giving mythical beings long before Santa Claus. I'm going to butcher both of these names, okay?
Ooh, are you going to go over Krampus?
Am I going to...
Not a gift giver, but...
Yeah, alright, so... La Befana, alright, and Fra Holly. Alright, like, I'm not pronouncing either of these right. Alright, the first one, La Befane. Oh, yep, my tongue just stopped there. It's L-A space B-E-F-A-N-A. Alright, it's a kindly Italian witch who drops off treats to well-behaved children. And Fra Holly, F-R-A-U space H-O-L-L-E, is a... It is actually, because I think I talk about her. Yeah, I talk about her here in a couple minutes. But she is like a hardcore women's activist, like, woman. Alright, did I talk about her? No, I didn't. I just mentioned that she exists, because she's kind of weird. She's like... when I was reading about her, it's like all of her rituals and all of her rites are only for women. And as a man, I was like, well, I guess I'm not supposed to research all of that, because like it was very they were not allowed to have any males in or around the temple. There were not allowed to be any male thoughts during a ritual, or else it would ruin the ritual. All right, like it was Brie Larson's patron saint, alright? Like, real shit. And I like her as an actress, but, like, damn, people need to calm down a little bit. On all sides. I'm not trying to be, like, one of those men's activist type guys either. Like, guys suck too. Just remember, we all suck. Humans are shit.
This is true. But you must just want to blame one gender or the other.
Yep. And so, along with the gift-giving mythical beings, gift-giving in general, alright? The Romans gave gifts between Saturnalia and... What the fuck? I cannot pronounce this word again. I can read it in my head. I've not had to read any of this out loud. I probably should have done that first. Kalends.
Yeah, probably. It would have helped you some.
It would have helped me, but I still would have flunked. All right, like you know how I speak poorly. All right. Fuck you guys. Now I don't even want to.
I mean,
all right.
I mispronounce shit all the time, so.
So, and until the early 1800s, in America, around the world, most people exchanged gifts on New Year's Day. And it was usually just one present, not the massive, massive pile of shit people get today. All right.
I mean, I really wish they'd bring that back, because I hate buying so many presents.
You know what, though? Like, I only give, like, one gift. And you know what? I also made a rule a couple years ago. And, like, I love all you guys. Stop buying me shit for Christmas unless you feel morally obligated. I only buy children's gifts for, like, Christmas. All right?
Yeah,
like,
just
unless
get the
I'm...
Wonderment.
And I'm going to be real. Like, I love all three of you. But the only people adult-wise that I get gifts for are people I'm fucking. All right? And I have no intention on fucking any of the three of you.
No.
I'm glad that you don't.
Not a thing. Well, you know what? It's one of those things like Dooms. You know, whenever we're hanging out at Cody's, like I'll punch Cody right in the dick or like grab his nipple or what have you. But I would never ever do that to either of the two of you. Mark, I might do that to you. I might hit you in the dick. All right, like I'm gonna be real. But like.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I know you would. That's why you think I'm always on guard near you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna go out and try and hit you in the dick. All right, I'll grab your nipple, but you're gonna have to annoy me for me to hit you in the dick. All right. Cody got me first and started a chain reaction of us hitting each other in the dick. All right. Like he did it to me, and so I had to retaliate. That's a different scenario. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he whacked you in the balls really good, so.
He did. I went to my knees and cried. All right. It hurt. It hurt real bad. He smacked me square in the balls with a towel. All right.
Yeah. And it was a no-look hit.
Yeah. He just right behind him, just whipped the towel.
Yeah. I felt that one, dude.
Oh.
Obviously not as bad as you did, but.
Yeah. No, that was. Oh God. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about for the Christmas traditions, decorations. During Saturnalia, Roman celebrations often included hanging metal ornaments outside on trees. Typically, the ornaments represented a god, typically Saturn, but could also be whatever the family's patron deity was. I can't fucking speak. I don't know what the fuck. They had wreaths as well. Early Germanic tribes decorated trees with fruit and candles in honor of Odin for the solstice. God damn it. I'm going to have a hard time getting through some of these names here in a minute, and I have said them out loud multiple times.
I'm going to be honest.
So, I'm not going over all of these, or all of them, by any means. But I'm going to go over I'm going to go over you here in a minute, big boy.
Oh, baby.
God damn it, Napa. I'm going to list off and then talk a little bit about a small amount of winter solstice deities. There are way more than what I'm going to talk about. Okay? I spent a lot of time reading about these people, and they're all very interesting. But I quickly realized that essentially, when you boil it down, they each have their own technical holiday that is all amassed under Yule. Okay? And like, I just can't. No. Oh my God. I started going, like, I wanted to end the podcast with like talking about some spells and like rituals you could do, but like
I'm tuned for that one.
the problem is finding rituals that are not like, I don't know how to put it, too much, or like just, you know, not, they're all over the place. There are some that are just like normal, you know, I'm sure there are, but everything I found was like wild, and or for some reason was tweaked to include Christianity. And like I understand that, you know, Christianity's been the dominant thing for a couple hundred years at least, but it not, that wasn't forever. And I don't like that everything I found really was modified, and I didn't want to like hit up Tim for his sources, which I probably should have. I just kind of got bored with all the Christianity bullshit and had to move back on to reading about deities and gods because that was more fun. So I'll go over some of the main ones. The main Greek ones are Alcuin, yep, Demeter and Dionysus, which those I can say fine. I've said fucking A. The main Roman ones, Bonadia, which I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I love it. Mithras and Saturn, which Saturn, obviously Saturnalia, we talked about that a little bit earlier, which honestly, Saturnalia sounds like my favorite of all of these crazy wild ass holidays. Saturnalia is a week long, all right, like a full week. The straight up just like Mardi Gras for a week straight, all right. Mardi Gras, that's in Rome. People were apparently running around naked, like it was wild. Let me see if I I'll read that in a minute. Japan has Yep, I tried. Amaterasu. Yeah. I don't think I. Yeah. Then Norse, which honestly, when you boil it down, like most of the Norse gods are winter gods. Like,
Cold.
I mean,
You're around there.
Thor and Loki, I
It's
guess.
cold.
Yeah, it's real cold, so they're all winter people. But you have Baldur, Hodor, Frigga, Odin, and that Frahali chick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I don't like this shit. I don't like my parents having COVID. My dad just started a group chat with Gerbil and I and was like, hey, we need dog food. Which one of you's dropping it on the porch for us? It's one of those things of like, let me introduce you to like Uber Eats and shit. All right, like, why don't you Sam's Club it? You have it. I should tell him, be like, you have a Sam's Club. Sam's Club will send it to you. No, I don't want to piss my father off right now. He has my new handlebars for my motorcycle at the house.
Yeah, you might not want to make him mad. They'll just send you a picture of him cutting him in half or some shit.
No. Dude, Tim, alright, before I go into these gods, I bought a set of 14-inch ape hangers for my bike. Spent just over $100 on them. And like,
you stole those.
Yeah, it's a good brand too. Like, Dad and I went up to JP Cycles and we were looking at them like in person. I was like, I really like these, but I don't really have an extra, $180 on me. So we left and Dad was like, you can just make a fucking account and put your bike in to see if those handlebars would have fit your bike. Like, The only reason I didn't buy them is because I wasn't 100% sure they'd, work on my bike. Because my bike's, 16 years old. It's not brand new by any means. So I was like, yeah, you're right. So I go online, I put my bike, I make an account, and I put my bike in, and blah, 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 blah. I find those handlebars. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, let me put those in my cart. Oh, those are only $112 on the fucking website. They were $180 at the fucking store. All right, cool. Let me see what else I can find. Oh, the speakers that were at the store. They're only like $5-10 cheaper online, but whatever. I'll throw them in my cart. Oh, I hit a fucking thing for, I hit a dollar amount, so I got a percentage off. Fuck yeah. So I ended up spending under $200 for my handlebars and the Bluetooth speakers for my bike that are all waterproof and all weatherproof and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Control it all from my phone. Now I just need a phone mount.
It's easy.
Yeah, but I got time. I'm not going to be riding my bike for a couple months while mine's getting redone and detailed and all that fun shit. And Dad sent his bike off to get a brand new motor put into it, but not just any brand new motor.
Did?
A brand new motor with a big bore kit built into it.
He was talking about that a while back.
Yeah. Well, okay, so remember how I was talking about how he wanted a Mustang?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not getting a Mustang now. Instead of buying a Mustang, the money he was going to spend on the Mustang, he's putting into the motorcycle.
Can't blame him.
Yeah. Honestly, when he's done, he will have spent less than a third of what it would cost him to buy a 2021, 2022 Harley, but have essentially that year model motorcycle that he's had all this time and customized to his comfort and his liking.
That and his is a firefighter edition anyway. I don't think they made another one this year, but I don't deal with that aspect.
Yeah, they don't make firefighter edition ones every year. I think it's like every 2 or every 3 years they make one. I don't feel like they do one every year because I feel like they rotate. Because do they make a police edition every year? I feel like they rotate back and forth.
So close, man.
Yeah, I love that answer. All right. Oh, God. Oh, man. So, I'm not even going to talk about the first Greek one just because I cannot fucking pronounce their name. But just know they're known as the Kingfisher Goddess and was one of the 7 sisters of the Pleiades. All right, which I used to study ancient alien theory just because it's fucking hilarious.
God.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. All right, like,
Alien.
dude, it's a fun thought experiment. Okay, I love.
It is, but when you listen
like
to
that
people
one
on
guy.
that,
It's a
when you listen to the people on that show, it's like y'all are batshit crazy.
All right, some of them are batshit crazy. Some of them are just really smart and know how to make money. All right.
I was talking about that one dude that's all in all the fucking memes. That dude's crazy.
He's not
Oh,
crazy.
the dude that's slowly getting abducted.
Oh my god, I'm the only one here that knows his name. All right, shut the
Who
fuck
knows?
up.
I don't watch TV.
I don't either. All right, I haven't watched TV in a long ass time. All right, but his name is Giorgio Tsoukalos.
And he's a nutter.
Yeah,
He is.
yeah, he's yeah.
But I do have to admit, he's one of the most entertaining motherfuckers on that show.
He's also exceedingly intelligent. All right,
I'm not
it's
saying he's not.
Hence why he's a nutter. There's a very
He
thin line
is-
between genius and insanity.
He is also the biggest believer on that show besides Eric Von Daniken. And it is because he's actually I'm pretty sure Tsoukalos is one of the producers for that show. And has been for a while. I know he's like part of UFO magazine or some shit. But we got a little more sidetracked than I meant to with that.
Yeah,
But
well,
It's
it
okay.
happens.
Man.
Demeter, her daughter Persephone was kind of, married off to Hades and shit. It's a weird story. So she causes the earth to die for 6 months while her daughter spends time in Hades. Because I'm not going to go through that whole fucking story, but to overly simplify it, basically she spends half her time in Hades and half her time with her mom. And the time she's not with her mom, she is not happy. Really, Gerbil? Really? Oh, man, he does. He has the NHL scores set to pop up on his fucking taskbar on the bottom of his computer.
Of course he does.
Does that really surprise you?
No.
You expected less?
So, this one I really like because this one has ties to a modern game that people play. We'll just leave it at that, and I'll the last word people will understand. Dionysus, all right, was basically there's a festival every year held in honor of Dionysus and his fermented grape wine. The event proved to be so popular that the Romans adopted it as well in their celebrations of Bacchus and all the people who like Smite. Oh, I just remember back when I used to play long ago, in the long ago, with Chance. And he would just be like playing Bacchus and being a drunken fool. Oh, God.
I've never played that game, but I've seen Daniel play it, and I'm like, oh, well, this is interesting.
I have no clue what y'all are talking about.
You never, Tim, you didn't play Smite?
No.
Smite is pretty much every pantheon going at it.
Yeah, it's all the pantheons of gods, but it is an over-the-shoulder MOBA.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Didn't it play almost like League of Legends?
It played like an
Yeah,
over-the-shoulder
kind of.
version of League, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan. So
Give me a gun, I shoot people. I'm good.
Daniel was just happy when they added the World Serpent.
the World Serpent.
I think he has a thing about a snake or a lack of.
He might have a thing about a lack of snake, yes. That may or may not be a thing. Did I get the two of them mixed up at all? No, I'm just crazy. So Bonadea was a fertility goddess, worshipped in
With a
secret.
name like that, I can imagine.
Yeah.
What's your name? Yeah, it's like, I guess your profession.
Yeah, Bonadea. Yeah,
Oh.
you got Bonadea'd. Damn. God damn. It's been a long day. Been a long ass day. I've been up since 6:30. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. What really kills me about Greek mythology is if you ask people about it, they usually only know the big names, like the main Olympians. They don't know about any of the other ones.
Yeah. Honestly, I know a decent amount. I won't say a lot, but I know some of the non-basic ones.
I got into Greek mythology because I loved the God of War games, and I just wanted to learn more about it.
That's fair. Did you play Hades?
Hades, like
Dooms, you played Hades.
Oh
I
yeah.
think
You probably played a shit ton of Hades, to be honest.
Yeah.
To explain Hades to Mark real quick.
It is a roguelike that actually messes around having to do with playing Hades' son, which would be the offspring between Dionysus and him. I just can't remember his name now to save my life.
I can't even, don't worry about
But
it.
your goal is to try to escape actually from the underworld of Hades so you can actually go to see your mom, which is Persephone.
Oh, I've heard of that game. I've never played it though.
Yeah, but the cruel part about it is that he can only live so far or for so long outside the realm actually of death, and that he actually just dies and goes back, and then he has to do it all over again.
Plutus?
Oh, so that's like live, die, repeat.
Well, I mean, you get to a point where Persephone decides that she's actually moves back, from what I remember, but I haven't done too much looking into it.
Hmm. Okay.
Well,
I'll have to look into that.
I know that
Looks
it's
like Hades.
what?
Looks like Hades' children was Macaria, Melano, Plutus, and Zagreus.
Zagreus,
And
that's
the
who you play
Erinyes.
as.
I don't know. I've not played it. I know that a lot of people are big fans of it. A couple of the streamers I watch play it occasionally, but when they get started, god damn, they'll play that game all day.
Oh man.
I just can't do that anymore. So back to gods. Mithras was celebrated as part of a mystery religion in ancient Rome. He was a god of the sun, born around the time of the winter solstice. Yeah, it's just, some of these things are just really weird, and you can tell that they're just made up because it's like this one's named this because why? Because that name was taken already. That's why. Because they're all the same few gods with different names, and if you read most of the stories, a lot of the stories are very similar. All right,
Especially between Roman and Greek mythology.
yeah, it's a big winding family tree fuck fest.
And some of those branches don't split.
No, that's why I said family tree fuck fest.
Mhm.
All right,
I mean,
There's a lot of incest in that.
the best way to
Zeus
put it
Hey,
is,
you Uncle Daddy?
it's like, have you ever seen an orgy at the family reunion? It's essentially like that.
I mean, hell, Zeus's wife Hera is his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And Zeus had an issue of putting his dick in anything that walked.
Yeah,
that's
As
true.
anything he could. All right,
He's
he
the
fucked
reason
people.
Minotaur
He fucked a woman as a lion once.
Yeah, also as a bull. That's why the fucking Minotaur was born.
Yeah. Okay. He's a weird fucking dude.
And he would some of the stories when they were fighting the kings, he was like, "Oh, okay, this dude wants to be a dick. I'm gonna go fuck his wife." Okay.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like he was the first furry ever. All right. It's proof
Zeus,
that
don't put your dick in that. I already did.
it's proof that being a furry is not a new phenomenon.
I mean, to be fair though, Zeus and his brothers were all really shitty, shitty
Oh yeah.
people. Poseidon was a real bastard.
Sorry, I'm eating candy.
Oh no, you're good. I was just sitting. I'm like, I'm not going to go further on that. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. Poseidon was a piece of shit for one very big reason.
All right. Oh, that hurt. The last one of the Roman gods I'm gonna go over is Saturn. Saturnalia. This is what I was talking about. The Romans would throw a week-long celebration of debauchery and fun, and called it Saturnalia in honor of their agricultural god. This is what's really weird, and I really liked this, what the fuck, is during that week, the roles were reversed, and the slaves became the masters, and the masters became slaves.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking weird, man. Alright? You beat the shit out of these people for, the rest of the year, and then all of a sudden you're like, alright, yeah, no, now you get to beat me for a week. No, dude, they're gonna fucking kill you, dog. Alright?
Yeah, that's why some people who treated their slaves really nice, the slaves would just be real chill with them. They're like, you know what? No, you can just sit around and chill. But if you were mean, yeah, your number was up there.
And then this tradition eventually evolved into the Lord of Misrule, which is a European thing. And I did not read into that, because that was about the time I gave up on reading into some of this shit, because I was like, God damn. All right, I'm just trying to fill...
deep into everything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fill like a half hour, 45-minute podcast, not, a couple episodes. Especially the way we like to get off topic,
I mean, yeah, if we wanted to do multiple episodes, we'd have to sit down and do a lot of research. Like,
oh no, like, if I'm going to be stuck here at Gerbils, or honestly, like, if I have it and have COVID and have to quarantine with my parents for fucking 2 weeks, I have a fair amount of, like, books that I can read and do some writing. But it's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that whenever we have to deal with that. So then Japan has Amaterasu. Man, there is so much. So Amaterasu was the sun goddess who went to sleep in a cave, and they like fucked with her and still till she came out of the cave, and then blah blah blah. Now there's a cycle of seclusion and return for sunlight. It's another one of those weird stories that I just couldn't understand what the life lesson was. And I feel like all these ancient stories had like most of the good ones had life lessons, like, hey, don't go there, Like, yeah, we call that place Don't Go There. Why? Don't go there. That's why.
Like, why? Just don't.
Yeah, just don't. Just don't go there. You
will die, and it will be painful.
Well, the Dilatov Pass, the incident where the 9 hikers died in Soviet Russia, and it was all that crazy, wild, like, alien conspiracy theory around it. The name of...
Yeah, they never found out what happened to them.
Well, the name of that mountain...
They resorted to cannibalism or something, or am I thinking of one crashed in a
That's
mountain?
a different one. That's the soccer team that crashed in the Alps, I believe.
Yes.
It was
no. The Russian locals, like the indigenous people of that area, when they translated the name of that mountain from their language into English, the name of that mountain was Don't Go There. So I love that joke. I always use that joke. I'm just like, yeah, if you call a mountain Don't Go There, don't fucking go there, man. 9 hikers died there.
Maybe good advice to just not go.
Yeah. And they knew. They were told, hey, don't go there.
That was the one where they found their tents, but they couldn't find any sign of them, right?
For a little bit, yeah. I mean, they found him after the thaw.
They found them all scattered. Like, one dude died against a tree, I think, and the other ones were at a snowbank, I think. They still don't know how the fuck they died.
Yeah, I want to
do... They weren't even dressed for the wintertime, were they?
No, they were. They were very prepped for the wintertime. They were...
They ran out of their tents because they think something attacked them because they found their tents shredded, and they were like, what the fuck attacked these people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wild story. I plan on doing an episode about it because there are some really good conspiracy theories about, like, KGB shit, because this was during the time of the KGB, type shit.
Don't fuck with KGB.
Yeah.
There's one conspiracy theory that involves time travel. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, there's some wild ones. Definitely some wild ones. Ooh. Okay. So I'm going to go over the Norse gods quick, and then we're going to wrap up because we're getting close to time. So Baldur. Baldur is associated with mistletoe. His mother, Frigga, honored Baldur and asked all of nature to promise to never harm him. But Frigga somehow, in her fucking infinite wisdom, overlooked the mistletoe. So Loki tricked the younger brother Hodor. God, I can't fucking speak these guys' names. It's Hodr. There is no... It's Hodor. Into killing him with a spear made of mistletoe. Baldur was later magically restored to life by Odin. Magic.
The reason Loki was able to trick him into doing that is because he's completely blind.
Who? Hod?
Yes, he was blind in Norse mythology, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty
Oh
sure
no,
he
he
was
is.
blind.
Yeah, actually, it's I just didn't know which one you were talking about. I was like, well, if Baldur was blind,
No.
I would have talked about that in his section. But okay.
Did that just cut out?
No, but Hodor is blind. Yeah. They're twin brothers. I thought he was the younger brother. That was my bad. He's the Norse, but Hodor is the Norse god of darkness and winter. But yeah, he kills his brother, starting the string of events leading to Ragnarok and the end of the world. But somehow, still manages to be brought back to life by Odin. It's a weird set of circumstances.
Yeah, I haven't read all of the Edda yet, so I'm slowly building my way up through that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think if
kind
I
of.
remember right, the reason he got brought back is they said they would bring him back if everything in all creation would weep for him, and Loki, of course, was like the only one who didn't, if I remember correctly.
I can buy
It's
that.
been a long time since I read anything on that, because this was when Loki was getting revenge for Odin doing his children like that.
Mm-hmm.
Odin's not a great dad either.
No.
So
Well, I mean, no.
then there's Frigga, which it's so conflict. So Frigga could be Freya, but could not be Freya, and it's convoluted as fuck. All right, and like
Freya is different than Frigga.
I know that's why for my notes here I put long story, not Thor's mom, but kinda. All right, because like over time, Frigga and Freya have become the same character, but it's believed that they were separate but based off of the same thing. It's so convoluted and complicated, and like, unless you really want to get into it, they're the same fucking person. But if you really want to get into it, they're definitely different people. All right, or like alter egos of the same woman. I don't fucking know. All right, we could have a fucking me, myself, and Irene situation going on here, and I'm not sure. All right, like reading some of the shit that I found started making my head spin, because it would tell one story about Frigga and then tell a story about Freya, but it was the same goddamn story with just different fucking names. Okay, and then I would find something else and it would just make no sense whatsoever and be like, no, they're the same fucking person. I don't know why people don't say that they're the same person. And then I'd find another story that was like vastly different situations happened. Okay, like they went to go do a thing and the fork in the road could not have been a harder left and right. Okay, you might as well one of might have gone backwards a bit. I don't fucking know, but it's just weird. So I gave up on that. They might be the same person. They might not. Who knows anymore? This was thousands of years ago.
Yeah, so when talking about ancient religions, I'd say losing pieces to history is common.
Yeah. And then...
I mean, especially back then when most of the traditions were oral, so...
Yeah, most of it was all vocal for the longest time, too, so it's kind of hard to keep track of some of this shit.
And if I remember correctly, they're still trying to decipher some runes left in the olden days.
Oh, no, they are. They still are.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they
I
are.
still remember they spent thousands of dollars. They found a cave with a rune inscribed like 8 feet. It was like 8 or 9 feet above the cave floor. Alright? They spent thousands of dollars trying to decipher this. When they finally did, can you guess what it said?
What?
I forgot the dude's name, but his blank was here.
Wow. Oh
So
my
he was
God.
just saying, hey, I was here, guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
That's beautiful.
That's really funny.
So,
Guys, it's rolled through the centuries.
the last one I'm going to talk about, and before we get ready to wrap up, is Odin. Okay? And there are some legends... What?
I said the All-Father.
No, not in this one. In this one, he becomes something far worse. But Odin bestowed gifts upon people during Yule, riding a magical flying horse across the sky. When they mix this legend with St. Nicholas, we get Santa Claus. All because of Odin, we have Santa. That's why Odin looks like Santa. Or, well, Santa looks like Odin, actually. Only with both of his eyes. Which...
Well, yeah, because if he was missing an eye, it'd freak out the kids.
Yeah. That's not what I was going to go to, but, you know. I am going to talk about the evils of Santa Claus next year for Christmas, I believe. I believe that will be my next year's Christmas project.
Santa Claus and Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about some of where Krampus came from next year, I think. Got a year to plan it.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess that was about enough information, because we go off on tangents and shit, so we're getting close. We're past what I was expecting this episode to be timed at, but I want to talk about one thing before we go. Just quickly. Have any of you heard about what DARPA and NASA did accidentally the other day?
Oh, no.
Touch the sun.
No.
They touched the sun. I read that and I was like, they didn't really touch the sun. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, they did actually. They did touch the sun. I was reading the article a little bit earlier. But that's not what I want to talk about, and we don't have time for anything else. What I want to talk about is the fact that they proved something. No, they proved something real. DARPA and NASA created the world's first warp field bubble. Okay? And for anyone out there who... Yes, like from Star Trek. Okay?
Dude.
Now then, they were only able to create a very small one, very tiny one, and said that one large enough to move a ship-type object, the amount of energy that it would take would rip apart any planet it got near. So there's still some work needing to be done on it. But they have finally proven it true. By accident, they were trying to do something else and fucking created a warp field bubble. Alright. It's amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm so about it. Like, I can't fucking wait for the implications of this, because this is the kind of shit I've been wanting since I was a kid. This could completely revolutionize space travel within our lifetime. All right, we might not get to enjoy the benefits of it, but my child might. All right, and if he doesn't, his children definitely will, and I'm very excited for all of that. All right, super fucking
I'm
excited.
sitting here reading up on it. It's actually kind of fascinating what they did there.
Yeah, by accident. Okay.
Well, most science is accidental.
Yeah. You're not wrong. But with that, we're gonna take this to a close, because, like I said, I got shit to do and gotta get some sleep on a fucking couch instead of my big, comfy ass bed.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm not happy. But want to thank anybody who made it this far. You get another gold star. Keep crewing those gold stars up. One day you'll have a platinum star. Takes 100 golds to get a platinum. All right, just remember that D&D logic. Yeah, just kind of how the way things work. Next week will be provided, like, I can get back to my computer and get what I need. Next week will be our Christmas creepypasta episode, so that's going to be fun. And then I guess we'll technically be getting close to starting year 2, because we first launched this podcast in March, and so we're coming around to March again. So we'll do something for our 1-year anniversary. We're not sure yet what yet, but like I said, thank y'all for listening. Anything you guys need to say on your way out the door?
No.
Fingers
happy to be here.
Things.
Yeah, I figured as much. God damn it all. All right, well, hail Satan and hail yourselves. Have a great time.
Night, everyone.
Hello, goodbye.
Bye-bye.